Hi, Fred, FR5ED with a silent 5 here with a beer review. Today, this is Hop Juice by Left Coast Brewing. And they are in San Clemente, California. Yes, that's where they are. This is a double IPA and looks very interesting in that it's 9.7% ABV. And yet a six pack was only, I think it was 11, let's say it was 11.99, say it was $12 for that high in ABV. Your dollar per alcohol ounce ratio is good. So anyway, I bought a six pack of it, never tasted it before, so going out on a limb, but hey, it rates pretty well. It rates a 96 overall and an 82 in style after 779 reviews on Rate Beer, and over on Beer Advocate, comes in at an 81, which is good, and that's after 274 reviews. Commercial description says, at Left Coast Brewing Company, we pride ourselves on being one of the pioneers of double IPA style. This hop monster uses premium American two-row and a touch of light crystal malt to create a solid malt foundation. 5 different hop varieties are used in the hop juice. It spends 2 weeks dry hopping in a fermenter, contributing to its great hop aroma. Starts out sweet and finishes with the crisp bitterness of a double IPA. This drinkable blend will have you hopping till night's end. So in there was a touch of information, but a lot of alliteration and romanticization. Okay, let's go ahead and get it open. I'm using my trusty Basic Brewing plunge style bottle opener. Works quite well. See if I can show you using it. Oops. Yeah, it takes it right off and it hangs onto it with the magnet. So that's clever. I like it. Getting a little bit of foaming happening in the neck of the bottle there. Let's pour this puppy. All right, and it's been sitting out of the refrigerator. I store at 37 degrees, but then I took it out and it's been sitting for 15, 20 minutes. So it's nowhere near 30. It's I'll bet you it's upper 40s. Just, I can tell. I ought to, stick a thermometer in there sometime. Check it out. I've said that before. It is nice and clear, lots of carbonation. It only got about a little over a 1 finger head, and it's not a super dense head. I'm not going to zoom in on that for you. It's medium, no real tiny dense bubbles, and not a lot of microfoam on top, but some. And at the color, again, not using my SRM scale either, I'm going to guess it's about a 9 or 10 because I'm looking at the light coming through it. It looks, it's interesting. It looks a lot lighter on my screen than it does with the light coming through it here. Let's say an 8. But anyway, it's a nice honey color, a little bit of amber to it, but mostly a honey color. I'm going to smell it now. Mostly a lemony lollipop, lemon lifesaver type of a smell. In other words, a little sweetness behind it, the aroma. And it's more of a candy citrus smell than a fruity citrus smell. And I can smell the malt back there too. I almost got a little bit of the alcohol, I think. Maybe not. Let me give it a swirl. Yeah, definitely that stirs up some of the malt, interestingly. Nice cracker, toasty, bready malt in there. Time to taste it. Good drinking temperature. I'm going to give it 2 more sips before I comment on this. I'll start commenting. Has a heavier than normal mouthfeel. Quite a full mouthfeel, as a matter of fact. Clean. The malt is there. It's pretty dry. I mean, there's a tiny bit of malty sweetness in there, but it's mostly dry. Plenty of hop bitterness. It says it's 82 IBUs, and with 9.7% alcohol knocking that down, I'm surprised it's as bitter as it is, but there's definitely plenty of hop bitterness. I'm getting some of the malt taste in there too. That that toasted bread, not roasted toasted, like a dark malt, but like a toasted bread. Not sure the hop flavor in there. There's a little bit of that lemon lollipop taste without it being really sweet. So anyway, it's interesting. It's not. And by the way, when I breathe out through my nose, I get a burn. That would be the 9.7% alcohol. Not that I'm really tasting it so much in here, but I'm definitely getting it when I exhale through my nose. It's a very good drinking temperature. I'm guessing I'm up about 50 now. I'm just guessing, but it seems like it's 50. And wow, would I get this again? Not certain. One more sip. I'm not sure I would get this again. I like hop bitterness. Interestingly, this is do I want to call it astringent or it's a bitter bitterness. In other words, it's not a balanced bitterness. Even though I am getting some malt, a tiny, tiny touch of sweetness, not much. I can feel the alcohol burn in there. It's so much about the hop bitterness without hop flavor and lots of hop aroma. I'm coated in bitterness back there. So even though a few years ago when I first started drinking IPAs and fell in love with that inherent characteristic bitterness, I found myself liking and steering myself more towards the ones that had a balance of a malt backbone, maybe a little even malt sweetness. Still wanting the bitterness in there, but I wanted it more balanced. And I would occasionally run across one that had such a bitterness component, lots of alpha acids. They apparently used a high alpha acid hop at the beginning of the boil and used lots of it. So those just kind of, I shied away from just because they weren't balanced to me, and it was all about the bitterness. This is kind of like that. This isn't a heavy double IPA, heavy mouthfeel, heavy alcohol content, lots of ingredients for sure. But wow, all I'm left with right now is the upper soft palate back by the uvula. It is, it's bitter and it's just stuck there. When I swallow it, that's all I have left is the bitterness. I'm sure, it rated 96 overall and 82 in style. So there are people out there that like it and get it again, or they wouldn't be making it. So anyway, it doesn't go on my list to get again, and I have 5 more of them. It's too bad I didn't grab one of these for a mix and match 6-pack. Oh well, hey, live and learn, die and forget. This is Fred, FR5ED, over and out. That was Hop Juice by Left Coast Brewing.